What if I told you that the most potent anti-aging molecule in existence cannot be bottled, pillaged, or sold to you by Big Pharma? It is a gas that vanishes within seconds of being produced. It is the literal spark of life that dilates your arteries, destroys viruses, and instructs your stem cells to regenerate. And here is the secret that modern science is just now admitting. You can increase the production of this molecule in your nasal sinus by 15 to 20 times, instantly, using nothing but sound. This is not woo-woo. This is the biology of Brahmari. Welcome to the Codex. We live in a contradiction. We are obsessed with longevity. We spend billions on creams, peptide injections, and biohacking protocols, desperate to reverse aging. Yet biologically, we are rotting from the inside out. Why? Because our nervous systems are locked in a perpetual state of fight or flight. This sympathetic overdrive shuts down repair mechanisms, tightens our blood vessels, and starves our brain of oxygen. The ancient rishis of India didn't have electron microscopes, but they had a technology that we have forgotten. They called it Brahmari pranayama, or bee breath. For thousands of years, it was taught as a method for spiritual liberation. Today, we look at the biochemistry, and we realize they weren't just liberating the soul, they were liberating the endothelium. They were hacking the autonomic nervous system. In the next 12 minutes, we are going to dismantle the industry of anti-aging and replace it with internal alchemy. We will look at the hard data, specifically how humming alters heart rate variability and nitric oxide levels. And finally, I will give you the golden vibration protocol, a specific way to perform this technique to maximize nervous system regulation. To understand the cure, you must understand the disease. Aging is not just the passage of time, it is the accumulation of damage. At the cellular level, the primary driver of this damage is a lack of blood flow and chronic inflammation. When you are stressed, which, let's be honest, is most of the day, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. This is necessary for survival if a tiger is chasing you. But when you are stuck in traffic or looking at a blue light screen, that same mechanism clamps down on your vasculature. Your blood vessels constrict, your blood pressure rises. This crushes the endothelium, the thin lining of your blood vessels. When the endothelium dysfunctions, you get heart disease, cognitive decline, and wrinkles. You literally dry up. This state of constant vigilance prevents cellular regeneration. You cannot heal when you are defending. This is where the concept of vagal tone comes in. The vagus nerve is the superhighway of the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. Low vagal tone is statistically linked to early mortality, cancer, and heart failure. The biological fear is this: if you cannot switch off the alarm, you will burn down the house. So, how do we flip the switch? The answer lies in a molecule that won the Nobel Prize in 1998. Enter nitric oxide. Not nitrous oxide, which is laughing gas, but nitric oxide, NO. This ephemeral gas is a vasodilator. It signals the smooth muscles around your arteries to relax, allowing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to flood your tissues. It is the primary weapon against cardiovascular disease. Here is where the ancient wisdom of Brahmari crashes into modern physiology. In the early 2000s, researchers led by Sten Lunding performed a classic experiment. They measured nasal nitric oxide levels during quiet exhalation versus humming. The results were staggering. They didn't find a 10% increase. They didn't find a 50% increase. They found that humming increased nasal nitric oxide levels by 15 to 20 times. Why? Because your paranasal sinuses are the reservoirs of nitric oxide. Quiet breathing doesn't disturb them much, but the physical vibration of humming, the resonance, acts like a fan, ventilating the sinuses and flushing this massive bolus of NO into your nasal cavity. When you inhale that gas into your lungs, it enters your bloodstream and systemically dilates your vasculature, and it gets deeper. A controlled trial looked at endothelial nitric oxide synthase, or ENOS, the enzyme that makes NO. After regular practice of Brahmari, levels rose from roughly 1.02 to 3.49 nanograms per milliliter. This is a highly significant statistical jump, p less than 0.001. This proves that we aren't just ventilating gas, we are upregulating the enzymatic machinery of the body. You are teaching your body to heal its own veins. This is endogenous anti-aging. But chemistry is only half the story. We must talk about physics. We must talk about frequency. The mystics describe the universe as sound, nada Brahma. In the sound healing community, you hear about 432 hertz, solfeggio frequencies, and binaural beats. While some of that is speculative, the mechanism of internal sound healing is proven. The vagus nerve passes right by the vocal cords. When you hum, you are physically vibrating the vagus nerve. You are essentially massaging your own nervous system from the inside. A 2023 study using Holter monitors confirmed this. They measured heart rate variability, HRV, during Brahmari. They looked at the ratio between low frequency, stress, and high frequency, relaxation. The study showed the LF/HF ratio dropping significantly, from about 4.39 down to 3.25. What does that number mean? It means a hard shift into parasympathetic dominance. The heart rate slowed, blood pressure dropped. The body entered a state of coherence. This is trauma release. This is nervous system regulation. When you hum, you are creating a feedback loop that tells your reptilian brain, "We are safe. We can repair now." This is the definition of reverse aging. The protocol, the three-step golden vibration. Knowing the science is useless if you don't apply the technology. You don't need a sound bath or expensive singing bowls. You are the instrument. We call this protocol the golden vibration. It consists of 3 steps. Step 1 is the seal. We need to turn the attention inward. Traditional Brahmari uses the Shanmukhi mudra, closing the 6 gates of perception. Place your thumbs on the cartilage of your ears, the tragus, to block the sound. Place your index fingers lightly on your eyelids. This sensory deprivation forces the brain to focus entirely on the internal vibration. Step 2 is the pitch. This is critical. You are not singing, you are humming. Keep the teeth slightly apart, lips closed. Inhale deeply through the nose. As you exhale, make a high-pitched, steady humming sound, like a bee. You must feel the physical vibration in the center of your brain and your sinuses. If you feel it in your throat, the pitch is too low. Raise it until your skull buzzes. Step 3 is the duration. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes. The research shows the chemical shift happens quickly, but the nervous system reset requires sustained duration. Focus on extending the exhalation. The longer the hum, the more nitric oxide you pool, and the more you stimulate the vagus nerve. We look for longevity in the external world, scouring the earth for the fountain of youth. But the ancient code suggests the fountain is within. Every time you hum, you are flooding your blood with life and signaling safety to your cells. You are not a victim of your genetics, and you are not a slave to time. You are a modulator of reality. Stop holding your breath. Start vibrating. If you want to decode more of the ancient technologies hidden in plain sight, subscribe to the Codex of Reality. Silence is the loudest sound.